And we are live, yes, yes. Hello everybody and welcome back to TABG with your host, Gyozaplanet. Hello, that's me. We're gonna be playing some TABG today, and yeah, let's see if we can get a win. So, I'm glad to say everybody has been enjoying the reviewing series where I look at, well, content, or I look at other people's videos that they send in and I review them. Yeah, personally, I find it very fun, but also it's a very good way of directly teaching you guys stuff. Mainly because, like, I do give instructional tips in my videos, but most of the time, a lot of it is just inherent knowledge that I've picked up through learning. So, in those guides, I can explain stuff directly and point out direct, like, issues or problems that might come up. Anyways, we are in the firing range here right now because Cute Hunter, aka the person I was reviewing yesterday, mentioned in a post-game conversation, which was on my Discord server, which you can join in the description below. We talked about TABG, Hawked, general stuff. You can also send in your videos for either of those two games to be reviewed by me, so I can give you advice on where you might mess up or where you could improve and everything, and I can mention things you might not know. Anyways, he was mentioning, or they were mentioning, that they tend to die to grenades a lot because they don't notice them, and they either die to the grenade directly, or with something like implosion grenade, they get hit by it and it causes their death. So there are two ways to deal with, like, to notice and be aware of grenades. Number one is keeping an eye out. Grenades are the only thing in the game that moves in an arc towards you. Yes, some of the crossbow bolts might, and also the taser, but the taser shot is bright blue, and grenades always come in an arc. Also, most of the time they'll be sailing over your head because if I am standing at this rock and an enemy is over here, they're going to throw the grenade over my head to try and land it behind the rock. Which means if I'm standing here, it's going to go flying above my head. So always keep an eye out there. If you see one, well, either run forward to the side, or jump up, or do whatever to deal with it. The second method is listening, because grenades make a very, very specific sound, and it is this. Actually, okay, that's a bit far. You can't really hear it. That right there is what I call a clunk sound. It's the sound of, like, dropping a box onto the ground. And grenades are the only thing in this game that make that sound. I think, well, okay, there are two, okay, that's a lie. If you drop an object, it will make that sound, but most of the time people are not actively dropping their weapons in a fight. So, yeah. If you listen, and it sounds like somebody just, like, dropped or is, like, rolling like a ball or something on the ground, that there's probably a grenade within very close proximity to you. Anyways, so let's get into the game. Yeah. So little new section I'm going to probably be starting. It's called Snack of the Day, where I talk about the snack, or the snack I'm having today, and I rate it, or at least give my thoughts on it. And today it is little cornflower sticks. They're odd. I don't know. They're designed for kids mostly. They're meant for, like, very young kids, so like 4 or 5, or 3, 4, 5, I think, in that age range. Mainly because it's how do I explain it? You don't need to chew much to eat them. So because those kids at that age tend to have, like, well, their teeth are still growing in. So yeah, there's that. So they're pretty good, actually. I was not at all expecting them to be good. Like, it's very odd. Yeah. I don't know. They are quite yummy, actually. You can definitely taste, like, the corn flour, and if you're a fan of, like, tortilla chips, it's really good. But minor risk, it does occasionally taste like you're eating a chunk of drywall. I don't know what causes that, but yeah. Yeah. It varies between corn flour and drywall. So in one moment it tastes incredibly good, and in the other one it does not taste very good. But overall, surprisingly nutritious, with low calories, and pretty scrumptious. Yeah, good rating. Oi, this is not a good lobby. 11 alive? Ah, jeez. Okay. Well, let's hang around for a bit. If the timer starts ticking down and we're with 11, I'm probably just gonna hop out and try and see if I can get a slightly bigger lobby because, yeah. When you've got, I've mentioned this beforehand in other videos, but if you've got less than 20 people in a lobby, yeah, it's you can't play the game like you're supposed to, and that, well, it's bad for everybody involved. It's bad for you guys because I can't properly explain stuff or demonstrate like techniques or stuff like that. It's also bad for me because it's very unenjoyable. It's also bad for you again because it's very unenjoyable because most of the game is running around like not doing anything at all. So yeah, not wonderful. But anyways, I'll be right back as soon as I find out if this is gonna hold. It did not hold. Okay, so we are just gonna back out and wait a bit. We need to wait at least 20 seconds or so because there's 15 seconds on the actual timer, but then it can throw you in like the last couple of moments when it's loading the map and getting everybody into the bus and everything. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm doing pretty alright today. Woke up pretty refreshed for once, which is nice. I went to bed. I've been trying to go to bed a bit earlier every day, and it's been moderately successful, which is nice because I do not enjoy being tired. So, anyways, let's play. Hopefully, get into an actually full lobby. 23 alive. Alright, that's a lot better. Bum 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 bum. Ah, perfect. We can run around chaos. So, what to talk about? Actually, I suppose this is something I did mention in yesterday's video. Cute Hunter sent me in a couple of games to review. I did talk about that in the actual video, and you guys only saw the last game, which was the one they wanted me to review. I mean, it was admittedly the best out of the three, but the other three, the other two were all right. It's just they weren't flashy. It was either just a lot of musket kills, which are, yeah, it was either just musket gameplay or them, running around and killing people who were not super aware. Which, yeah, that's fine, but there's not much you can learn from that. Which is kind of what I want with these videos. Ideally, if you're going to send in a game, wins or kills doesn't really matter. Well, okay, kills does kind of matter. Like, ideally more than like 3 or so, like 4 plus ideally, because minus that, I think you're like, basically, if you can get less than 4 kills in like a game or get a win, you're either incredibly unlucky in a match that started with like 10 players, or I don't know, yeah, one of those two. But what it does mean is that you're either too scared to go to fights, which is not good, or you just don't know how to fight, which means you're lacking fundamentals. So for that, I recommend A, checking out my tutorial guide, and B, just playing games and practicing. Practice hipfire, practice movement. Okay, 31 alive, we're gonna have a good time. So yeah, practice hipfire, practice movement, practice having a sorted inventory, practice using the right guns at the right time, getting into zone when you should and everything, and it should help a lot. But yes, as I mentioned before, I don't necessarily need wins or losses or like very high kill games. I need games where you struggle. And this sounds odd, and it might sound a bit masochistic, or no, it might sound a bit sadistic. It's not. The main reason I need games where you struggle is most of the time, basically, the human brain is really good at autopiloting, where you are given, where if it can do a task, it will learn like how to do that task, and it's just gonna repeat that task, which is fine because otherwise you would be burnt out by 10 a.m. because your brain would have to manually focus on doing every single thing it does. Like, think about it: walking, going to the bathroom, making food, eating, getting dressed, preparing. Yeah, you would be completely fried. You would never be able to get any work done. So autopiloting is important. Problem is, when you autopilot, you can't learn because it's a cycle, basically. It's a flowchart, actually. If you don't know what a flowchart is, I guess I can show it off. Flowchart. This is flowchart. You go from one to the other one, to the other one, to the other one, and then if there's a difference, you pick one of the two, and then you keep following. And flowcharts are nice. They're good for organizing things, and it's more or less how your brain functions when it's on autopilot. Problem is, when you're on autopilot, you tend to make mistakes because, let's say, for example, you've got that very nice, neat flowchart and everything, and then suddenly somebody just comes by and drops in a ton of miscellaneous squares over the entire thing. And that's just called inherent chaos, or like a situation you haven't been in before. And when that happens, your flowchart kind of breaks. So most of the time, it ends up getting you killed. And yeah. But it doesn't get you killed. It forces you to adapt. And adapting is basically like it's what I mentioned before. You have to focus and like actively make decisions and everything. And that's where I can see where you need to improve, because when you're flowcharting, you're just following a routine. This is what I do. Like, this is actually what I'm doing right now when I'm talking to you whilst looting. I've been here like 17 plus times. I know where loot spawns. I know the jump spots and everything. I'm doing this entire thing without thinking. I'm just running around grabbing loot and trying to pay attention if there are any enemies nearby, and then if there are, I'll stop talking and start fighting. But there aren't, so I'm just gonna keep I'm doing all of this on autopilot. But and that's fine actually. But the thing is, when you're forced into stressful situations, you're forced to make decisions, and when you make decisions, that's where mistakes happen. This, for example, is what happened with Cute Hunter. In the first reviewing video, he was pretty good at the game. Like, he had solid movement and everything, but when he went to take fights, they were really bad because he would rely on aiming down sights for everything, which is really not good. You need to be able to hip fire in this game, and so he would default to using aiming down sights, and it ended up getting him killed. So he sent in the first game where he had a very stressful end game against a very mobile opponent who put him under a lot of pressure, so he had to try and adapt, and he couldn't. And so looking at that, I was able to guess that he needs to work on being less reckless when he fights, and he needs to be less reckless, and he needs to learn how to hip fire. And he did, and if you see yesterday's video, his gameplay has improved significantly. Now, admittedly, in that one, there are more stressful situations where he almost ends up dying, and in said stressful situations, another flaw came up, which was his lack of spatial awareness to enemies and stuff like that, and also to audio cues and everything. And so that's another thing that he can work on, and I was able to give him advice about. So this is why I want stressful games, because when you're put in a stressful situation, you're forced to adapt and make the decision you think is the best based off of your experience and your knowledge. And when that happens, that's where the flaws in your said experience and knowledge pop up, so I can give you accurate feedback. Now, admittedly, this isn't a revelation I've come to myself. I'm actually so case in point, right now I'm flowcharting. I was flowcharting. I got more or less all of the relevant loot from that location, and I started running over here because I need to get to zone and everything. I hear a crossbow. The minute I do that, I stop and I start looking around. And if you notice, I've started playing a bit more slowly, and I'm looking around now. I'm in fully engaged mode because I know that I have a crossbow and I don't have a max health blessing, which means I can get one shot. It also means somebody's using a crossbow, and by the amount they're firing, well, they're probably a very bad shot. But still, even a bad shot gets lucky. Also, I do believe I just saw somebody over here. So I'm gonna go over here because I'd rather fight the person in castle than the person with a crossbow in the forest. Especially because the forest is not a great place to fight in if you don't have mobility or passive healing. I have neither of those. So, yeah. But yeah. So as I was saying before, this isn't inherently like new stuff that I've just come up with myself. There is a very skilled and very educational coach for Valorant named Wuhujin who explains, and this is kind of this is actually. Hold on. I heard a jump, which means they're probably up like they're 50 meters out. So we're gonna run down here. Let's see. Splinter, reorganize you, perfect. And then we'll have smoke on standby. Is this a... No. I thought it was blessing. Even a normal max health blessing would be wonderful right now. Can also do some quick ammo sorting. Alright. I now see where all the fighting has been. Also, I've just realized I haven't actually shot anybody yet. I spent this entire game running around looting, but I'm guessing most of the people have gone to locations. Either that, or, so, there are two options. Number one, everybody decides to go for tall work. Yeah, I don't know. Number two, there is a very skilled player in the lobby who has been eliminating everybody, and they now happen to be at tall work. The first option is quite likely. The second one is less likely, but very terrifying, because it means I now have to face them. And people who are good at this game are very scary. I really shouldn't be doing this, actually. So this right here is a perfect example of do as I say, not as I do. I'm currently taking a fight against the target very far away, who is in front of me while I'm not in zone. This is a terrible idea for multiple reasons. Number one, I'm giving away my location. Number two, the person is ahead of me, which means they can easily lock me out of zone with just some gunfire. And number three, if this was a faster zone and if I had been farther away, I would have easily been locked out, and there were no cars around because it was a river, I had no launch pad grenade, and I have no speed blessings. So that was a terrible idea. However, I did kind of feel like taking a fight, so... I mean, you don't always have to do the best things, but if you want to improve, it is recommended to try and force yourself to do, like, yeah, to not do silly stuff. Because, I don't know. Anyways, as I was saying before, this whole theory about stressful situations show off your flaws, I mean, it's kind of present in other places, like in general, but I mostly learned it from a very instructional Valorant coach named Wuhujin, who helps players. He multitasks. He helps new players, so he does like some. He has a couple of instructional guides. Then he helps like medium to intermediate, like intermediate to like decent, like low advanced players, and then advanced like almost top tier players. And one of his criteria for sending in games to submit, admittedly he has a lot more of them because he has a much bigger fan base, and I am a individual with 30 subscribers, which is not much. A lot of people who are enjoying my content, yes, but still. Not much immediate like influence. One of his things is that it has to be a fairly tight game. If you don't know Valorant, the game is a tactical shooter that runs on rounds. Okay, actually, hold on. Oh, that's a Browning. I do not like that. Anybody who runs the Browning is either new. Come on, I need to land this headshot. The weapons in this game sometimes are just a bit infuriating. Just a bit. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna get in here because I heard... I knew it, there was somebody to my right. There's somebody inside this town area. So one of his restrictions is, so basically Valorant, round-based tactical shooter. There they are. I think, is that somebody in there? I could have sworn I just saw a little dark flash on the floor. I mean, I probably would have been shot at by now by this person, but yeah, I don't think there's anybody in here. Okay, that's a motorcycle. I was a bit panicked for a moment, but we should be good. There is somebody out there. We just heard a sniper round go off, so yeah. We might get like a 2-kill game here, but which is very unusual for me. Most of the time, I end up in a lot of fights. I just guess not today. But yeah. So one of in Woohoojin's like rules for submission, it has to be like, I think it's an 8 to 13 because it's best of 13 game, or classical games are best of 13, so it has to be an 8 to 13 win or loss. And that's because it's the same thing as before, because if you're losing heavily or you win heavily, it's called stomping. If you're stomping the enemy team, in both cases you're running on autopilot, which means you're not actually you're not forcing yourself to improve, or not forcing yourself to improve. You're not being put in stressful situations that expose like the flaws in your gameplay. So yeah. Anyways, I would recommend checking him out. Even if you're not a huge fan of like Valorant itself, he is very funny, and he does streaming, but he also releases videos, and most of them have like very solid advice for Valorant. Like, I've actually managed to improve. I don't play Valorant regularly, and I also have never played ranked, but I did improve by like moderate amount after watching his content for a bit. So shameless plug. I don't think he'll ever see this video, but okay. I'm gonna be honest, I probably should have just shot that person. Okay. There we go. Let's see. I'm gonna take this and this jumps blessing because there is a grenade. Okay. What did I just get blown up by? Oh, it was probably a Gospo. Ah, jeez. Nope. Odd. Yeah, that was not very smart on my end. I heard the grenade throw, and I'm guessing they heard the gunshots and they threw a grenade to catch me because that was a dead end. But yeah, I don't know. That was kind of a dud game. It's rare, but it does happen. Anyways, I will catch up. Fish. Anyways, yeah, so check him out. He's funny, and he does give very good advice. But I do admit, you know, it is fun. Now, another thing that came up from Hunter's like video review is that hold on. Another issue that came up, or probably the biggest one in his gameplay, minus the fact that he doesn't respect like the range of his own grenades, which is more so just a distancing issue than it is, yeah, more so like a just being aware of the impact zone of your grenades issue, more so than a like inherent just gameplay flaw, is his awareness, and his awareness is rather bad. Like, it's okay, but there are several times where, like, if you go over there, he's sorting his inventory while somebody's actively shooting him, and the person had an MP5K and a Gospo. If he got shot by the Gospo, he would have been in dire straits afterwards. And he was asking me, is there any way to improve awareness? And the answer is complicated, because there are 3 parts to awareness. There are multiple parts to awareness. There's direct awareness, which is what you see, which is like the information you receive from the game. There's situational awareness, which is a bit different. Situational awareness, which is knowing the tendencies of an enemy, and then there is just I suppose yeah, so actually, never mind. It is 2. There's direct awareness and situational awareness. Direct awareness is what you see with your eyes and hear with your ears. With your eyes, there's not much you can improve on. Playing games mostly, so you can spot enemies. Also, something I would recommend is actually in NVIDIA settings. So, actually, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can show it off here because no. Yeah, hold on. Let's see if it loads. It is a bit finicky at times. That is somebody else. I forgot that I should really toggle Steam overlay to not pop up in the middle of my games. You know, what do you want? Hold on. Okay, control panel. Yes, I know my drivers need updating, but here. So, this is an NVIDIA control panel. You can do like a ton of stuff like that. Most of mine are set for like a couple of visual stuff like anisotropic filtering is increased and anti-aliasing because otherwise it's kind of meh. But if you come down here to display, adjust desktop color settings, there's a setting here called digital vibrance. I would personally recommend upping this. I have it moderately low, mainly because I spend most of my day on my computer working. But basically what it does is that it makes the colors pop. So when it's low, I don't know if you can visually see this, because I do think it is for my monitor. Like this, it's completely black and white. Like this, it's like neon popping colors. So having a good in-between is recommended. I think most of the time it's set at 50. I believe 50 is the default. But I would recommend upping it to 80 or even like 100 if you can handle the eye strain. Hue is just the colors. If you want funky looking... Oh, wow, everything is green now. This is awful. No, 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 no. Yeah. But I would recommend having that set pretty high. Brightness and contrast, I don't know. I don't touch those. Color accuracy, I don't touch that, and everything else. Apply? Let's see. There you go. Okay, so yeah, everything pops a bit more now. Like, the colors are a bit more pronounced and everything. So, now, inherent, like, that's pretty much all you can do for visual stuff. For audio stuff, however, there's a couple of ways you can do. So you can do audio tuning. Yes, it is one of the big debates that or complaints console players have against PC players, which is that we can tune our audio, and admittedly in games like Warzone it's absolutely insane because you can go from moderately hearing an enemy about that far away to hearing them about there, and being able to completely pinpoint their location, and also having your gunshot sounds and like surrounding gunshot sounds diminished, and it is absolutely nuts. Now that's not actually necessary for this game, mainly because mainly because of the chaos factor. If you don't know, chaos factor is just an inherent characteristic of this game that because of how it's designed, most like things that would be problematic in other games, when carried over to this game, are absolutely fine because there's just an inherent level of like, let's go city. Let's see if there's anybody who goes city. Oh yeah, no, we've got like 1 or 2 people flying over. So yeah, there's just an inherent chaos that comes with how the game is designed that reduces things because, for example, like, what's a good example? The melee weapons. The melee weapons in this game are incredibly strong. Or actually, all of the guns in this game are incredibly strong. Most of the rifles can 3-shot kill. No, most of the rifles 4-shot kill. You have pistols like the M1911, like is a 4-shot kill to the torso and a 2-shot. There we go. They weren't paying attention, and I managed to do that. Also, this is one of the perks of the MP40. It is much better at range than any other submachine gun. That was what, a 30-meter fight? Yeah, that was 30 meters. With a Vector or something, I would have had to reload twice, and I probably would have missed half my rounds. Speaking of the Vector, but yeah. So yeah, because of how the way this game is designed, especially with like the weapon floppiness, all the ragdoll physics and everything, there's an inherent chaos that comes with the game that you can't control. And even if you like run through a scenario, let's say 100 times, every single time it's just going to end up different because that's how this game plays. Yeah. So something like audio tuning, whilst in other games it is very, very powerful, and like I said in like games in Warzone, and even though this game has a higher like TTK than Warzone, TTK is time to kill. It's basically how long do you have to shoot somebody before, or like how long do you have to attack somebody before they die. In this game, I'm pretty sure it's like, depending on the weapon, it's either instant or it's like I don't know. It's like 100 to 200 something milliseconds, which is ludicrously fast for a battle royale game. Like that, I think it is probably the fastest for any battle royale game I know, minus PUBG, but I don't know. PUBG is a lot more like a tactical shooter. battle royale than it is like a, I don't know. Point is, but because of how the weapons handle and everything, and because they flop around and everything, that inherent incredibly fast time to kill is offset by the fact that most of the time you're going to miss at minimum half of your bullets. This can be mitigated with proper aim and practice and everything, but still, like, hitting shots is very difficult in this game, and like at least 15% of your magazine will just go into thin air. It's just like an inherent given, and that number varies depending on scenario and everything like that. So, actually, where was I going with this? I was talking about Valorant, and I was talking about right, awareness. So audio tuning, right? So awareness, direct and spatial awareness, like direct and situational awareness. And then I was talking about visual awareness. I showed off the settings, and then here, audio awareness. So basically, TLDR, audio tuning isn't really needed for this game. You'll be fine without it. However, what is needed is what I call taking a pause, and it's literally you stand still and you just listen. Now it seems incredibly silly, and for some it might be because you're not doing anything. You're not trying to find. You're literally just not doing anything. But that's incredibly important because what you're doing is you're not making a sound. There is no breathing or background sounds or anything from your character. You're completely still and silent. Also, I'm gonna pick up the vector. Okay, I'm gonna hold on to the vector for now. I'm gonna swap it for a UMP if I find one, because basically I already have a long range gun with the Winchester, but I would like to still have a little bit of like mid-range damage. I know I have that with a revolver, but I'd like to have high fire rate. So if I could find a UMP, that would be perfect, because it's less deadly than the Vector, but still it's got a bit more range. So that would be ideal. Anyways, so if you just stop a moment and take a pause, it does a couple of things. Number one, it forces you to calm down. So especially if you're in a very stressful situation or something, and you can see this in some of my like very tense end games. I just like stop and I take a breather if I'm like behind cover or something, and it's important because it lets you take time to process what's going on and make better decisions. Because, example, I'm doing it right now. I'm just not moving, and I heard somebody jump down below, so I can correctly guess that there would be an enemy nearby. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Now, had I been running around, they probably would have either, well, I don't know if I would have hurt them, but I might have also, like, I might have been shot first there, and that could have ended very badly for me. I don't know what dropped down. That is kind of a problem. Ooh, I will take that speed blessing, though. It's very, very nice. Or, actually, we'll throw that on the Vector. Okay, hold on. No, YouTube, I do not care. Please shush. Anyways, so yeah, literally just taking 5, and it does, yeah, as I mentioned, it does a couple of things. One, it lets you like, there we are. Yeah, it lets you better pinpoint an enemy's location, especially if you hear like overlapping footsteps. Okay, so I'm gonna throw down a splinter grenade. There we go. It got in there. They should be dead if they don't leave. Okay, they've left, which means they are right here. They jumped down. Ah, damn it. Oh no, okay, this was oh, okay, damn it. Okay, that was not intentional. I did not want to fall there, but whilst we are here, we might as well take advantage. So they are currently running away from me. That probably means they are dead to this guy. Okay, we're gonna swap sights to something a bit more long range. 20 plus storm. M14 and then some kind of rifle, I'm guessing? Or it might just be a, they landed like a leg shot. Yeah, it's a fast bullet, but it's not sniper rifle fast. Oh no, I hear a crossbow, actually. Ah! They've got it's a balloon crossbow. They've got a balloon crossbow, what? Okay, whoever it is that has that, we need to play very carefully because, oh. Yeah, it's some guy over here. Oh, we can land a headshot. Okay, we want to move in on that. I know we are injured, but I am above any sniper rifle body shot threshold, and we've also hit them for about 70 damage. So if we can land one good like revolver headshot, or like 2 revolver shots, which is not too difficult. Wow, that whizzed by my head. Okay, they are dead. They had a legendary blessing of some kind. Okay. We should catch them rotating to the other side here. No. Drat. I think that might have been a dash blessing. Damn it. Got an airstrike, that's gonna help. This is kind of not going according to plan, which is not good, but... Oh, jeez. We can make it work. Okay. Throw this down, get a bit of healing, and then leave, because healing grenades make you incredibly exposed. Get a bit of additional healing, and then let's... Okay, we need to probably get out of here. This is not a great situation. Fire grenade, where did that come from? So they're up top, yep. Oi! Yeah, they're a good shot. This is not good. There was another person there. They were in the buildings. I thought they had died. Damn it. And zone had closed already? Yeah, no, this wasn't. This was somebody else. Damn it. That sucks. But, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, just taking 5 moments to pay attention will be great. Or not will be great. It helps a lot, especially. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm still a bit fried today. But I'll try and go to bed a bit earlier today, and see if I can do better tomorrow. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow, and ciao.